What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
What's up? I don't know. Oh, let me stop that music there. Boom. Roll the intro.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Where the hell's that sound coming from? Welcome. Welcome. Oh, is it TikTok is still playing? I thought it stopped. It usually stops playing when I click off of it. I know you guys can't hear it, but I can. Let me pause it. What's happening? What's happening? Welcome. Welcome. I'm here. You guys are here. I don't know. I don't know. You want to support the show? Go to coldbeer.fund. We greatly appreciate any support for the show. It's funded by viewers like you. I got some Sovereign Citizen videos somebody sent earlier. I didn't actually get a chance to watch them. I started to watch them. We had a lot of work going on. We had to find and locate 5 septic tanks today, dig them up, pump them, all that stuff. Which, yeah, I had a company there, but I had to kind of oversee it. But I had a lot of work today, so I didn't get to watch these. But I hear that there are sovereign citizens losing their homes. I'm not sure. We can check it out, though. Let's see what it is. Actually, hold on. I think I've got the actual, let's see. I think this might be the actual video that he's referencing. Okay. No. Maybe there's just 2 videos of it. Oh, he links it right here, I guess. So it says, Sovereign Karen defrauds the bank, loses her home and car. Pro se fail. Representing herself pro se. And then it says, Sovereign Karen's tried to stop a foreclosure, but failed miserably. Let's see. I want to see what the dates of these are. Am I watching them in order or not? How you watching them backwards? That's from 3 days ago. Yeah, this is from June 12th. So I guess this one's first. Oh, God. Who is this person? What? You can hate Nick. I think he's kind of a piece of shit.
Subscribed for 24 months.
Oh, that's 2 years. I kind of hate Nick. Thank you very much for the resubscription. I think he's a piece of shit, but he's wealthy, right? He has these goddamn retards convinced that what he's putting out is good content, and a subscription-based service always makes money. That's it. So it says they're asking for the sheriff's sale. Try to stop before closure. So I guess her shit's being foreclosed on and sold at auction. So this would be literally like a what do they call it? A courthouse steps sale, I guess.
You think that's the guy right there? With the notepad?
So there should be sound. All right.
Well, we are just here for the, I guess, the sheriff's sale. I guess you have some...
I'm not doing sheriff sale. I'm not a sheriff.
Okay.
So how can I help you?
Well, we were directed to this location. It's our first time we are experiencing this. So.
And who are you?
I'm actually attorney in fact for one of the victims. So yeah, one of the people.
Lenka, who claims to be an attorney in fact, is in fact not an attorney. In fact,
An attorney, in fact.
she often portrays herself as an officer of the court or an agent of the government, to the point that actual government agencies...
By the way, you guys know that guy on Twitter, Dom Lucre? He calls himself the breaker of narratives and always posts like the just plain ass conspiracy theories he stole from other people. I've made fun of him before. Someone called his ass out today, and I think it was Michael Robertson tagged me in it. It's pretty funny.
like the FBI Little Rock Twitter page and the actual Department of Justice.gov page, we're having to warn people about Lenka's fake government agency, the Freedom to Breathe agency.
The Freedom to Breathe agency. That's where she made all those fake I don't have to have a mask cards and mailed them to people after you paid her for them.
A little bit more specific.
Yeah, so we have actually an issue here that supposedly there's supposed to be a sale of a property, which is owned by a legal title by a woman, and supposedly a person.
Who's the lady?
Kat Spinda.
Okay. And do you have any kind of injunction or anything?
I can show you all the documents here. But because you said that you're just the auctioneer.
I'm a processor.
Oh, okay.
And
I see.
one of the things that we get roped to doing is to read these auctions.
Okay, so just first of all, this is the power of attorney of Kat Spinda.
Okay.
And here.
So can we have a conversation with
Yeah,
our
sure.
camera? Because if you've got an actual document here, I need to make some phone calls. We have.
Yeah, okay, I can absolutely.
You're an attorney. Right?
Well, we gotta make sure it's all documented. We gotta make sure it's all documented.
Yeah, we have to have it documented that.
You're an attorney, right? He asked her again, you're an attorney, right?
If you're not speaking the truth, I'm speaking the truth, so there should be any problem, right?
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Lenka was with Madison Marquette at one time.
Yeah.
Just figure this out.
Yeah,
We've
you
got
will.
15 cameras on us here. So.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
No, I think there's a lot of them.
Why would there be a problem?
Well, because I think we can handle this without drawing everybody into a YouTube video. So,
So
you have
here,
power of attorney, so this means nothing.
Okay, fine.
I love how she hands him her totally serious power of
You have a power of attorney, so this means nothing. That doesn't stop a foreclosure sale. They a lot of times call these like sales on the courthouse steps or courthouse step sales or whatever, what have you, right? And they're literally, by law, they're held on the fucking courthouse steps. You show up, you buy shit. The only thing you got to make sure if you ever go to one of these, the only thing you got to make sure is look up your, I guess, the local and state laws and make sure you might buy a $100,000 house. Let's say a $200,000 house for $50,000 because nobody's there to bid. But it could also have some states and some areas. You're also liable for the back taxes on the property. So you might buy a $200,000 house for $50,000, but it's got $200,000 of back taxes against it. So one good thing to check out is see if someone's been paying the property taxes and shit on the house. I've just heard horror stories about that, but I don't know. I've been to a bunch of these sales and auctions. I've been to more auctions that are just straight up, like they auction off everything in the house and the property and the house and the cars and everything, like estate auctions that are held by like actual auction companies. But I've been to a couple on the courthouse steps that were done for the banks.
attorney, as if that's the undeniable proof that all of this is illegitimate. And normally you would expect Lenka to go into some pseudo-legal nuances. Instead, she just says, okay, fine.
How about some kind of...
I forgot we knew Lenka, kind of.
Yeah, so here's our...
This woman here is videoing for their side and was videoing people on our team. I think she just started it because she knows you all are crazy, right?
Yeah, so here's our photo record, so I will present to you the documents here. So first of all...
I used to know Madison Marquette's stepdad. Are you sure it's like the actual Madison Marquette's stepdad?
I am not a bar attorney, just for the record. I am a private counsel, okay? I am not a member of the Private Bar Association.
I'm not a bar attorney. I am private counsel, which means I'm not an attorney at all. I just declared myself an attorney.
Okay, but I showed you I have the power of attorney. It's for Kat Spinda's safety today. Okay, I'm just speaking on her behalf. So here's the deed of trust, which is clearly stating the parcel number. Okay.
There is anything that can stop this sale.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So I'm surrounded by about 15 cameras here. We've got somebody.
Well, we are in public.
Who is not an attorney.
We are in public. We are in
So
public.
we have.
I'm a
Someone give me a power attorney who's not an attorney.
Give me a second. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So.
I'm sure this happens often enough that it seemed like this woman knew what the fuck was going on. He doesn't seem to be having any of this shit.
Yeah, well, what I need right now is a document that can stop this sale. And that's what we're looking for. The client has to essentially stop the sale, some kind of injunction.
He's looking for a crooked court order from a crooked judge who is part of the bar, the British Accreditation Registry. That's not what it stands for.
Something that says that we cannot do this.
So first of all,
I'm talking to you and somebody else.
There's $1 million lien on the property and a load of title, sir.
yeah, so she
Who are you,
holds,
sir?
she holds.
Richard David Potsmer.
Well, Richard David Potsmer,
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I knew who her mom and dad and sisters were, but I didn't even know she had a stepdad, to be honest with you.
shut the hell up. You can put a fraudulent $1 million lien on the house. You can petition all the crayon crunchers of America for your allodial title. It still ain't going to stop your friend from losing her house because she chose to stop paying her mortgage.
Okay, and who are you, David? Are you an attorney?
No,
I
that
would
just-
love to have anybody who has
okay.
legal authority to tell me that we can stop
Okay,
the
here,
sale so we
here,
can do that.
so here you have
Anyone with legal authority.
affidavit of default and final judgment, okay?
Fake logo. What did that say on her video?
I would love
Fake
to have anybody
logo.
who has legal authority to tell me that we can stop.
Fake logo. Company
here.
cannot be located. I'm sure.
Do that.
So here you have affidavit of default and final judgment, okay?
By the way, just because you're wearing that shirt doesn't mean you work. I've got so many shirts that not only have the fake company name on them, they have fake employee names on them. I have like 3 that say Juan. I don't even know where the fuck they came from.
And this was served to Michelle Bertolino, the acting as attorney for the bank. Okay, so that's a copy you can have right here.
So that's an affidavit of default.
Yes, it's basically stating that the bank, first of all, did not loan any money, anything of substance to Ms. Espinda. Okay, and then it's also showing and proving that she actually owns the land, that they have no interest to the land. The only interest they have is to the APN number, which if you proceed to be selling that today, you are selling a fiction. And this is what this affidavit is about. Okay, there is also notice of liability.
Filed with the court.
This is filed with the Secretary of State for State of Washington. Okay.
Is any of this filed with the court?
I'm sorry?
Is any of this filed with the court?
I believe Ted actually brought it to the district court. It's been dismissed, but this is a matter of public record. Okay.
It doesn't
I believe they brought it to the district court, but it's been dismissed.
make any difference if I
No, it does.
have
It does.
authority to do this.
Well, like I said, if you proceed, you will be selling a fiction. You'll be selling a parcel number where Ms. Espinda actually holds the title to the actual land through this land button. Okay, it's a certified copy.
Right.
I have the original copy on my file, so you can have this copy.
I don't want it.
It's been dismissed, but it's public record.
Okay, this is why we need to have it on public record.
No, we need it all on public record so that we can warn the other gullible idiots of
This guy's name that's covering it is named Team Skeptic.
this country that follow.
He's got, I think he has the original video link somewhere. At least that's what they told me when they shared it. Yeah, source, the Rumble video. How long is the Rumble video? Oh, it's just her Rumble channel. It was a ruse, more proof. Breaking 18 USC. Judge switcheroo. Oh no. They've got a bunch of The Truman Show, True Man, Human. We Are True Man, Specimens. Twin Flame Power Hour. Sovereign Souls Unite. Oh no. Lawless Land Corrupt Sheriff's Auction exposed selling APN numbers. It's probably this video. Or this one. Welcome to Smucksville. I see it right there. That's it. It's a 35-minute video. Oh no. Cat Espinda.
What you know, you can't explain,
I love that intro.
but you feel it. You felt it your entire
Raw footage.
that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind driving you mad. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us, and now in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your
Yeah, I've been, I don't know. I've been kind of a useless, lazy piece of shit, so I've been starting the show real late.
taxes.
The last couple of days, especially.
It is a world that has been pulled over your eyes
I don't
to
know that I can
blind
stand
you
much.
from the truth.
I will catch up to where we were on the other video.
Speaking on her behalf. So here to Ms. Espinda. Okay, and then it's also showing.
Not a legal attorney, but you're acting as one.
I am representing Kat Despinda today because of her safety. Okay, because I have knowledge of the law. Okay, and
I have knowledge of the law.
her next friend, so I'm here on her behalf. Okay.
And I'm her best friend.
I showed you the power of attorney, that she gave me the power of attorney so I can speak to you today to present you with the court of record, which is a court of record. Everything has been agreed to, okay? So if you proceed, like I said, you will be selling a fiction today. And so whoever buys that fiction.
If you proceed, you'll be selling a fiction today. Whoever buys that fiction will be buying a fiction today.
Whoever buys the fiction will be actually defrauded. And this is why we have to have it on a public record, because this is in public arena. Thank you.
Tmrw is committing fraud. No license in Washington State or Oregon State. Fake company, fake shirt. Where's his authority to do a public auction on the Benton County property paid for by the people? Well, he said he was a process server, so he does the process.
So Kat's just joined us now, Kat.
Here he is seen fleeing in the Benton County Justice Center in hopes he can do the auction inside, which is completely unlawful.
Calls, glad you're here. We're just following closely. Oh, Kat just left.
Uh-oh.
It's interesting that they don't want things on record and they don't want to.
Oh, it's becoming a little bit
Now they're just chasing him around. Awesome.
It's also still.
In Soviet Russia, bank owns you.
One of Kat's friends. I've been trying to teach people.
Hey, Jeff.
All the way through.
So it appears the guy that's doing the auction here, the auction's supposed to take place right here. It appears that he got really upset by all the cameras in his face. He's going inside to see what's going on, make a phone call.
Thank you, Austin Chadwick. Traveled all the way from Arizona to cover the story of the unlawful foreclosure. Thank you.
Should be a little interesting. It should be an interesting situation going on today. It should be an interesting test as to how this illegal title thing works. So very excited and interested to see how it's going to go. Tensions are high.
He went inside the court.
Yeah.
Oh, no, out of the threshold. He's standing between security detectors. He wanted privacy. Say better. Yeah. I was just walking by. I don't even know what's going on.
In someone else's name.
So there are people there that they're discouraging people from bidding. Because if you don't know what's going on, you don't know about the sovereign citizen movement, when they come up and they're like, hey, this is actually tied up. It's not actually foreclosed on. The person still owns it. There's going to be a big mess and legal troubles. They plan on suing, and they're discouraging people from trying to bid on it.
And that's the superior title to the land. Are you?
Here's what I call a pretender, acting as if he is bidding, but in fact was just there to cover for his buddies. He was not a bidder here and lied on camera about his intentions there as if he were a professional and knows what he was talking about.
Aware the difference between real property and private property, real estate, what real estate is?
Well, we're professionals, and
what kind of professional are you?
We do this all the time, so we're pretty well aware.
I bet. What kind of professional are you?
I'm not going to talk anymore about this. We're making money professionals.
Oh, I see.
The sheriff's down inside with the auctioneer.
Okay.
Sounds like they flip homes.
You know that there is really no money too, right? Or this is news to you?
We know everything.
Oh, okay, good.
I wish I did. I know nothing.
Yeah, we are just discovering a lot of things.
You're good to know everything. Sure is.
So you guys buy?
Now they're basically just being harassed, right?
That's what you
Imagine showing up and having the money and thinking we can buy this home, it'll be our home, or we'll flip it or whatever, then getting attacked by a bunch of sovereign citizens.
Sometimes.
No, yeah.
We can not lock the door.
He's the one standing here in the door. We can.
Guys, come on. Give us a second. We're going to get everything, okay?
We're just looking at some auction. Now you're doing business.
I have to qualify my bidders and try to get what's expected.
I'd like to qualify. I'm going silver. You said that.
Now they got him a wanted poster. Who is this man? Goes by Tmrw. Last seen Friday, March 29th, 2024 at 11. Location, Benton County Justice Center. It says State of Washington logo, but the Benton County Sheriff's Department reported he was from the state of Oregon. Yeah, that doesn't mean... Like, he might just be wearing this overshirt because it had buttons on it. Who the fuck knows?
Quite a bit of it.
Do you have it on you?
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
We have lots of it.
So,
I can show you a little bit. I have a whole lot more where that comes from.
how do we know the value of your gold and silver that
We can check the spot price right now online. It's in between $25 and $35 right now.
real money.
Real money.
Real money.
That's what we deal in.
Real money, God's money. They're gonna try to buy the house in ounces. Imagine the auctioneer trying to auction this off and figure out the spot price of silver versus dollar value while people are bidding.
You gonna have enough to pay for the property?
Absolutely. Offered by the Constitution.
Yeah, I'm not getting. You guys are way out of my price range.
Yeah, the auctioneer is. So this lady just asked if they could do it without us recording.
But we can just,
Yeah, come on here.
we can just go as a public.
Timber's handler, Anita Heath, is giving him instructions. Is she Michelle Bertolino's main contact in this fraudulent transaction and foreclosure sale? So I don't know who she is personally, but she was the one that seemed like she had seen this before. And I'm almost positive all the ones that I've been to, when the bank owns the property, like there's still a mortgage on it, they have to have a bank representative there. So I don't know if she works at the bank or whoever, but I do know that all the auctions I've ever been to, I think it's to make sure that it wasn't some bullshit. Like the auctioneer only told one fucking guy, one guy shows up and builds $1, and I don't know for sure, but they always have a bank representative there. Who we are.
Yes.
Phoenix security guards instead of deputies who are just standing around. He's verifying her funds right now as a bidder, or is she his handler? Oh, she might be trying to bid.
Hey, Chadwick, can you let that lady through? Hey, Chadwick, can you let this lady through? No, but can you let this lady through?
So this auctioneer and this lady, I guess, are verifying funds here.
Stay behind the red tape, but they could all secretly conspire
On
inside.
title. Just so you guys know, $1 million.
Putting $1 million lien against them. That's some Madison Marquette tank. I got so many liens against me.
So they don't want us to record him.
I'm one with her. So, sorry.
Are you waiting to come in, man?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the auction. He's the auctioneer, right?
Okay, that's gonna be outside, so you can wait outside.
He said bring checks and come in, so we don't know what's going on.
So I'm going to get outside because that's the law. But I also have to qualify my bidders. I have to allow them to submit to the client. These guys are not facing, so they're not my job.
So he says I have to have it outside. That's the law, but I'm qualifying my bidders. And he's trying to do that without being interrupted. That's why he's doing it inside.
So,
Our agri-sales business is toast.
and that's the goal. I don't know what to do.
Officer Bruce Surplus, the one who kidnapped me without a warrant, admitted on body camera footage that me being invited to the sheriff's office to share my evidence of bank fraud with Hoppo Community Credit Union was all a ruse to get me there so they could steal my car. That would be very funny if you were already claiming that your house couldn't be foreclosed on and the eviction notice was bad, and the sheriff also knew that they were trying to repo your car, and he's like, yeah, come on down, bring all your evidence. So the repo man's sitting in the lot. That's very funny. And it did not bid at all, although her name was on the list. Show proof of these certified funds for all three of these bidders. Well, they did. That's what he's doing. You don't get to see their funds, but they have to have proof of funds. That might just be their banking app, and they refresh the page, and it says they have at least, I don't know what the minimum is.
So the auctioneer appears very rattled. He's standing inside on the inside. It hasn't gone through security, but standing next to a bunch of sheriffs on the inside there, trying to figure out what's going on. I guess he's asking the sheriffs for their protection, but it's a public hearing, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. We got the people over here who are coming to buy. The people who are coming to buy the property. I'm assuming just house flippers, and so they're pretty confused about what's going on too. So this is going to be a very interesting situation. We're going to see how it goes.
Are they the one who bought it, or is he verified over their funds? But they're buying a house super cheap, and your friend's going to be homeless. I don't know why you think you've won this. Has a sovereign citizen ever succeeded in anything? I used to help flip houses. I used to do it. There was a couple that I worked with pretty closely. They had the investment and the funding and shit. but I did a lot of the work for them. And sometimes we'd even go to auctions. They would bring me along to auctions because it was like they could only see it the day of the auction, right? So you get like an hour before the auction or whatever to see it and see what was going on and what it would need, how much I thought it would cost. It was interesting.
You can just put me at free. I know. It's hard to It's very hard to believe. It's very hard to believe for me, that it should be actually happening, right? It's been happening for generations. So what's the deal? Yeah, he was out of the fact like if you know, no one owns their home. They enslaved all the land.
They have one of them on speakerphone, by the way. She couldn't be, the homeowner couldn't be there for her safety. Probably gonna repo her as well. And of course they're gonna dox everybody. Why not? They had to put their name down as qualified bidders. Whether they make a bid or not, this is all gonna be public record that they were bidders present. If you search for this business, you get a error, fictitious business. Thanks for confirming this sale was non-judicial. It was public by a process server. Anita Heath is the only one who lists her address. We've redacted all phone numbers and addresses. Reminder, an hour after the sale, Jared and Todd trespassed on Espineta's homestead together, and Jared taped papers to the front door. They fled in Jared's Tesla after being confronted. So apparently Jared and Todd bought it, and they put eviction notices up. Why are Jared and Todd, who know each other, bidding against one another? And why isn't Anita bidding? What is really going on?
Oh,
it looks like they're already placing the bids. Opening bid. Let's see what those bids are. Maybe. Opening bid was 352, 353, 353, 357, 359, 361,000, 362,000, somewhere around there. There's the numbers of the bid. 1 versus 3 versus 1 versus 3. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 1 and 3 bid against each other quite a bit.
Article 9, Section 307H, United States is located in the District of Columbia. And you will see that they even tell you on the legal description, you are buying APN number 111, which is located in Washington, which is 3A99336. So that tells you that the whole territory did.
She doesn't have to bid. I mean, maybe she thought, oh, I'll bid it super low, or maybe I'll sweep in at the end. How serious are they? But she doesn't have to bid.
It's been publicly posted. It's been posted in the
fake introduction, as my neighbors were at this event and they witnessed all three, Anita, Jared, and Todd, all together in my neighborhood. Maybe they all went to look at the same time. She's still doing her spiel over there.
It's going to be fun. And they bought a fiction.
Was this a welcome next?
It's on the record. It's going to be on the record. Like,
And such a
What? Yeah, if I can like last one from things, yeah, just chill.
We're $382,500.
He doesn't have to do it out loud. They've all read. They've all qualified. They're all standing there. He doesn't have to scream. They're all standing there.
they seem to do a little bit like maybe they were integrating them so good that it was like they were just transitioning to the other like maybe they didn't like
Yeah, no, they're out.
That's nice. Congratulations to you. they came to
other people jumped.
oh.
So it's
It seems like they left here and came to Texas. They work on all their
professionals.
But they don't know. They don't know. They don't want to know. They don't want to learn. But they will learn. They might not like it.
And this guy randomly showed up at the home while all this was going on, except he might have thought the bid was at the house. He might have thought the auction was at the house. Or he had time to look at the house. It says, my dogs are maniacal barkers. We will hear you coming from a mile away. Not a single fucking dog barked until he rang the doorbell. What do you mean a mile away? A mile away? A mile away from your house? What the fuck? Not a single dog barked. They know everybody that steps foot on this property. As long as they ring our ring doorbell. And they're even delayed, dude. Looks like he's checking the address. Perhaps he was at the wrong place. He could have been here harassed by you guys.
Maureen, they are buying the parcel. Let's be very clear. Okay? They are buying the fiction. So the sheriff will be noticed of that, and you know, Kat will have to hold him to his oath of office.
Richard Citizen Journalist is the goddamn. If they was ever a grifting piece of shit, it's Richard Citizen Journalist.
We want to hear it all, sir.
Hey, we will.
The whole thing. There's $1 million lien on this property, guys. Just so you know.
And you are buying the fiction.
And you don't want to deal with me. Believe that.
You are not getting the
You don't want to deal with me. Believe that.
Scary. I'm not trying to scare anybody, sir.
Place it for the trustees foreclosure sale. I am agent for Michelle M. Bertolino, successor trustee. This is a trustee sale in a non-judicial deed of trust foreclosure proceeding of that certain deed of trust dated July 13, 2018, recorded on July 13, 2018, under auditor's number 2018. Records of Benton County, Washington, from Kathy G. Espinda, as grantor to Benton County Title Company. The trustee to secure an obligation in favor of Apple Community Credit Union as beneficiary. The legal description is as follows. Lot 14, Block 2 of the Bridge. Hey, you're going to stop standing behind me. Get up there. You want to record, stand up there.
Oh, thanks for your advice. Didn't need it, though.
Okay. Stay away from me.
Okay.
Okay, the legal description is as follows. Lot 14, Block 2, the ridge of the Hanson Park, Division 1, Phase 1, according to the plat thereof, recorded in Volume 15 of plats, page 574, record.
God, I'd like to see this motherfucker beat that dude's ass.
To Benton County, Washington. Now, pursuant to the notice of trustee sale, is duly posted, recorded, same thing. I don't care, Steve. Don't get behind me.
Do what you're told. Do what you're told, Chadwick. He's the boss of us.
I'm trying to read this. Fine.
I can't wait. What page was it again? 574?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading it.
Oh, so the bank person is not there. It seems like the bank person might be on the phone with him.
They're all in on it, Marine. I already called the...
Now, pursuant to the notice of the trustee sale, in which is duly posted, recorded, published, as required by the laws of the state, I am offering for sale that's the highest bidder for cash for interest. We do not accept cash.
Just say no drugs.
Time the execution is subject to the trust. Does anyone wish to enter a bid? I have 3 qualified bidders. Anybody else bidding is not allowed. Does anyone wish to enter a bid? All right, there are no other. So, bidding is. I have a bid on behalf of the current beneficial interest holder of Apple Community Credit Union, $352,872.13. I will enter. I have a bid on behalf of the current beneficial interest holder of Apple Community Credit Union, $352,872.13. I will entertain bids. On behalf of the current beneficial interest holder of Apple Community Credit Union, $352,872.13.
$352,000 is, I guess, is the Hapo Credit Union bid that themselves.
I will entertain bids this time. Do not walk behind me. I'm dead serious. I'm not doing this. Don't walk behind me. You really want to be in public.
Apparently not.
You don't walk behind me.
That's hilarious.
I don't see anybody trying this motherfucker.
Yeah, no one's following you.
And just for the record, this is what's being sold. It's a fiction, legal description, right?
It's a fiction, legal description. In Russia, we call it fiction.
The deed of trust versus the lady, the woman, Kat Espinda owns the land. Please put it on public record.
Legal.
Yes, that's a process.
If we had a legal issue, we would have stopped this.
That's right.
Okay, time of the opening bid.
For the record. Legal, real, private property, land, soil. People walk on the soil. Fictions, persons, corporations.
Look, they're both in on it here. Here's the
Fictions, persons, corporations.
action going on. Don't miss
That's
it.
what they are buying.
What's the bid, sir? The current bid.
$352,872.13.
They're all in on it. It's obvious.
Somebody else is on the phone screaming it's illegal fiction.
At least they know what they're buying.
How fucking
We did our
stupid.
best, people.
You've been informed.
There's some things that are funny, some things that are interesting, some things that need to be stood up for. This is just fucking annoying.
I can't hear the bidding.
You're not qualified.
374. What's the bid? What's current bid?
352,000.
Just trying to hear.
Hang on, son. Don't touch me. Send the sheriff out here now. This is going to get stupid. Send the sheriff out.
This guy shoved this guy. I saw the whole thing. I have it on tape.
I saw the whole thing, too.
This guy in gray. We got it on tape, sir.
Let's see what actually happened.
352,000. Just trying to hear. Hang on, son. Don't touch me.
It looked like he barely bumped into him and the guy shoved him back. Like he barely bumped it. Hold on. It looks like our bidder barely bumps into a retarded camera sovereign citizen and the guy shoves him back pretty hard.
374. What's the bid? What's current bid?
352,000. Just trying to hear. Hang on, son. Don't touch me. Send the sheriff out here now. This is going to get stupid. Send the sheriff out.
This guy shoved this guy. I saw the whole thing.
Now, I wonder why nobody would want them there or want to go inside and do something or want the sheriff's department present or not want them walking behind them. Like they're already shoving motherfuckers for no reason. None of these people own this land.
I have it on tape.
I saw the whole thing, too.
This guy in gray. We got it on tape, sir.
Good.
That's called assault. We like to press assault charges on this guy immediately. Chadwick, do you want to press assault charges?
Chadwick, do you want to press charges right now?
All he did was step in front of him that time.
What? Man, got us on camera?
Yeah, we got the whole thing on camera.
Please have a sheriff's deputy out here. In black. Thank you. Well, they're shoving into us. They're interfering with the sale. They can video record, but they've got to stay back. People trying to cross in behind me and everything else. Don't snitch it.
Stop snitching, one of them yelled.
Yeah, you're right.
It looked like multiple times all the guy did, he may have touched him, but all he did was step in front of him. Then the other guy resorted to shoving him hard.
Rude. It's awfully rude, sir. Mind your manners.
$874.
How is that rude, sir? Yes, sir.
You tell us everything to do. You think it's not rude?
Well, you let me know how I'm rude. I'll point it out, but I'm not calling people rats.
Stop! Hey, what's this guy doing? He wants to come here and keep on getting in front of me? What are you doing? You
push on me.
You put your body on me.
Incorrect.
Crazy. Incorrect. I got the camera on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Oh, really?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, what are you? What are you? I don't. What are you? What you gonna do?
So these two are working together behind the auction here. This is their security
You're a dumbass. Well, what are you? What are you? You don't even know.
guard shoving a young man in public, just recording, which is our legal right. This guy shoved this guy. The sheriffs are watching.
Yeah, I'm sure with his reaction, so what the guy seems like he's doing is waiting literally for like your jacket to brush up against him so he can say, he touched me first and shove the fuck out of you.
It's a very tense moment right now.
I'm saying right here. You get away from me now.
These two are working together. They're working inside. This guy would not qualify my funds, and this is a security agent, and these guys back here are also in on it.
Richard Citizen Journalist showed up with a bunch of 7K medals valued at $385 an ounce. But look, this one has a penguin on it.
I've seen about enough here today.
So there he showed up. I'm assuming he bought it. I think the guy may have written bidder 1 and bidder 2 down, or bidder 1 and 3 down wrong. I think it should have been bids between the Anita lady and this guy. The other guy was just blocking.
On the film, and it was extremely light, and I do have a low-deal title to this plan, and all you bought was the APN number. So this is
all you bought was the APN number. You're in the Matrix, brother.
Being, of course, recorded here. I guess
Aaron worked for Todd Jones for over 2 years at a club Todd owned called Jack Diddley's. Look him up and see why his club didn't stay open.
him, and, yeah, and so just want to let you know that you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems.
Okay.
They don't believe you, lady. There's $1 million loan against this place. A lien. And this is real soil, real people. You can walk and dance on it.
So.
And this will be all online. Perfect. We're going to be exposing there's bank fraud going on at Half Community Credit Union. And
I'd put them on notice right there on the bank fraud. Do you think they cared or took
$3 million lawsuit against Crossbury, against Crossbury, against Ken Hokenberg with Hapo, because they are committing fraud. 100% of my loan came from the Federal Reserve. It didn't come from them.
The Federal Reserve.
Banking laws require that you have proof of consideration. They provided no proof, and the federal judge squashed my case because they're all abetting fraud together.
Oh, wait. So your case was dismissed, but it's still valid? I don't think that's how it works. They didn't even hear it. They threw it out immediately.
So I just want to let you know, also there was $1 million
Crossbreed makes some really good holsters.
lien put on his home about 3 days ago. So if you guys try to...
Couldn't help but notice he has a Hitler mustache. I think he's just got stubble, and it's kind of thicker in the middle.
Yeah, did you guys do a title search? I hope so.
I think it's good if those guys are committing fraud. I think it's great that you're exposing it.
Yeah.
I think you guys are angry at the wrong people. Just to be quite honest with you.
We're
So
angry.
I mean,
I'm not angry. I'm just trying to expose the fraud.
Sure.
And you guys are buying homes because 1 million homes per year, people are kicked out of their homes and the banks provide $0. Nothing. So this is a slavery system, and you guys are participating by buying off of the backs of people who are misfortunate.
Slavers.
Right? They can roll someone out and 80 years old onto the street because they could own the home outright, but because of property taxes, they can steal their home, oxygen mask, children's out on the street.
Oh my goodness. So the government can seize your land for property taxes? You know how far behind almost every place I've ever heard of, you know how far behind on property taxes you have to be before they take your fucking home? They want you to pay your fucking taxes. They're not waiting for you to go $1 into default so they can kick you out on the street.
And this is happening every day in this country. It's a slavery system. And I have a allodial title. You can look on the corners of my property. I posted it.
That's why you need to be careful when you buy a home at auction, because if you're responsible for the back taxes, they're usually like $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 in taxes. It's not like you missed 1 year and it's $345. So you're out of here.
Notice for 60 days. Nobody rebutted it. No one rebutted it. And so I'm just letting you know. I mean, I was somebody.
Look at their official paperwork here. Land patent. Notice of final default judgment.
Here, I was a CEO in this area.
And it's posted to, hold on. Where was that posted to? worldreviewgroup.com. I posted it and nobody responded for 60 days. That means I win. And this is the website she posted it on. This is the website she posted it on, and the court didn't respond to her here. Damn it. Big mistake, guys. Big mistake.
Here, I'm a CEO in this area for a long time. I've been doing business in this town for 26 years. I've read financial statements. I have the proof of fraud. And if you'd like to watch my show, I actually expose all of the proof online. So everybody in this world, we have people from Washington, D.C., who has actually traveled all the way over here to just make sure that you guys are getting exposed for what.
Yeah, but he's kind of a crackhead if you're talking about Richard Citizen journalist. He's a fucking drug addict, an alcoholic. That's what he uses all his donations for. Squanders away, living out of his fucking car, begging for people to buy him a house because it's too hard for him to keep doing videos and be homeless.
You were doing. So your faces are here.
That's what I mean.
What is your name?
Guys, that's what I mean.
What's his name?
Todd Jones.
Todd.
Are you working together?
And also you hit one of the guys that was reporting. Why did you?
There he is.
He's down by assault.
No, literally, that was on video. That was literally on video. You guys,
I do seriously though.
Yeah.
I think if you feel like you're being done wrong, I think it's great that you're exposing it.
Yeah.
I do, but I think that you guys are lashing, not you, earlier, lashing out the wrong people. That's what I'm just saying.
Who's the right people? Can
to lash out at?
With Capo? I already did.
What you had mentioned, if someone did that to me, that's who I would be lashing out at.
I already did. So $8.3 million lawsuit that you didn't hear about because the Tri-City Herald doesn't report on truth.
Yeah.
They don't.
Because it's been thrown out. You declared it in a sovereign court that doesn't exist.
Report the truth.
No, so, I agree with you.
Okay, well then there you go. See, I sent them my $8.3 million lawsuit like 4 months ago, but did you see it in the paper? No, you didn't.
I agree. All I'm saying is that Jared's not the bad guy here.
But you guys are both bidding on this house, correct? Both of you?
No, just me.
It's you?
Yeah, you didn't. And then
you were just
So how many properties do you own in the county, Todd? Todd, how many properties do you own?
I own plenty of properties, but
I understand completely. Thank you for telling me.
Sure. Anyways, all I'm trying.
Now I understand completely. Thank you for telling me. How many properties do you own? How many properties do you own, RCJ? Was that a rental suit?
Say is that Jared's not the bad guy here. And I agree with you. If somebody's doing you wrong, if the bank is doing you wrong, I agree. Go after him.
No, we did. See, we live in a crooked system with crooked judges. Joseph Burroughs ignored all of my bank fraud. So what does that mean? So if you have a crooked judge, right? And then
it tells you that not everybody's crooked, right? You can't just go. I mean, that's why our system has checks and appeals and other people that review and appeal courts and district courts, and you can take it all the way to the Supreme Court. Everybody's not crooked. And if you believe that, you might as well fucking move. If you believe that everybody's crooked, everybody's part of the cabal, and it's all just leave then, because you're never going to have anything go your way.
he puts out a crooked order to have this house go under when I provided all the proof that the bank provided $0, which breaks banking laws and security exchange laws. But see, look what they're doing to Trump. This is a crooked system. They're doing it to him. They're doing it to me.
Oh, God.
And they're doing it to 1 million people a year when the banks provide $0. So this is a movement of the people.
So her claim is because the bank received their money from the Federal Reserve and then loaned it out to her that they didn't actually put money on her house, so they can't foreclose on it.
Taxes are closing in on the people. The middle class is getting forced out. People like you are buying homes with certified debt because it's not even cash. There's no money. It's all debt.
I agree. There's corruption all over the world.
Yeah.
There is a ton of corruption. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day. But I have a
They were served with a notice of fraud and trespass, unrebutted, yet they still moved forward on this unlawful detainer against me using Powell and Gunter's office in Richland, Washington. So they use their attorneys. Like, what paperwork do we need to post?
legal title of this home, so I will be here.
God, why does he chase them? Do they not understand how that makes people feel? Oh, you like being filmed in public? You're chasing them down the street. Uh-oh, you need some healthy hydration, guys? Anyways, I think we watched some of this, but I think there's an update to it. And this sounds like maybe they're all in court. Hapow Community Credit Union versus Kathy Espinda. Officially sues CEO of Hapow, including Judge Joseph Burrows, and all involved for abetting bank fraud, aiding and abetting bank fraud. $8.3 million lawsuit has begun.
Second. Okay, I'm there. Thank you. Go ahead, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. First, I just want to clarify, I'm not sure what Mrs. Spinda is referring to in terms of a trust. This is a lawsuit that has been initiated against Mrs. Spinda. Mrs. Spinda purchased in 2018 at 6 on January 29th, 2019. She executed a retail installment sale contract, and that contract was assigned to Hapow Community Credit Union. Hapow provided the financing contemporaneously with the purchase of the vehicle.
Counsel, if you just want to move forward, I'm sorry to interrupt you, counsel. If you just want to move forward, I'm prepared to go forward today, and I'll indicate to you, as I will indicate to Ms. Spinda, that you each have 5 minutes. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hapow has to perfect the security interest in the vehicle. We're here today, and Hapow is requesting that you grant the order that was presented, proposed order that's awarding possession that was presented.
Thank you. Ms. Spinda, you may address the court.
Just a question. Have I unknowingly entered into any type of contract speaking with anyone here today?
No, you've knowingly entered into multiple contracts with that credit union. And in an effort to try to defraud them, you took their money, used their money to purchase goods for yourself, and then refused to pay that money back. So they're just stealing their things back before you steal them for good.
Ms. Spinda, I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to hear arguments regarding your position on a show cause for a replevin of a vehicle. So you may proceed. Go ahead.
Okay, this is...
So this is her trying to get her car back. So not only was her home through Hapow, her car was too.
The first time I've done this. Sure. So is this considered a civil or a criminal case?
Again, I cannot answer any legal questions. You're responding to the show cause.
Okay, just for the record that you're not answering that question. Thank you. And who is the alleged victim here?
Again, I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to your response to the show cause. You may proceed.
For the record, you did not answer my question. Thank you.
Response to the show cause. This isn't ask any question you want here.
I am a free woman of flesh and blood. My Honor, I asked for your status here today.
Once again, I'm not here to answer any questions. You may proceed.
For the record, you did not want to answer my question. Okay, my trust, when I say my trust, I'm talking about I trusted Hapow with my trust, a promise that they would provide proof of consideration for the vehicle. I don't have just this issue going on with Hapow. I have also an investigation going on with my home. And the FBI has been contacted, and there's been a claim that has started, investigation on Hapow for fraud. It's fraud against my estate, against my trust, against this birth certificate, Kathy Jean Spinda. And I have a truth affidavit of truth here that I would like, if someone could give this to the judge, that was served on June 12th I have an affidavit.
So in legal jargon, consideration is basically the promise that you make in the contract, or the performance that you're going to do if you're like a contractor, or the forbearance. Like what is your side of the contract? in exchange for another promise, basically. So I promise to loan you this money for your house as long as you promise to make the payments, kind of deal. That's the consideration. It can also be a property with legal value. So if you take a car loan out, even a title loan, right? Your promise or your consideration is that car, is that house, is whatever. And that's why the bank can foreclose on it and take it back. It's a secured loan.
Affidavit of truth and proof of claim that I had properly served to Apple Community Credit Union and Chris Torres, who is the Vice President of Asset Recovery. And I have given her this proof of claim truth affidavit on June 14th in a meeting that we had for me to look over the wet signatures of my contract. So she has this in possession. This has been legally served to her. And I am not done with this investigation, but there's fraud going on with my case.
Yeah, no shit, because you're the one that's committing fraud. When you went to the credit union to get that loan, you intentionally deceived them to secure those goods. And misrepresenting your intentions or providing false information are both acts of deceit and key elements of fraud.
And Samuel has proceeded to move forward.
They are stealing our energy, she says, on a prison planet.
On this lawsuit against this. And I tried to explain to him verbally on the phone the fraud, but all he said is, I don't believe you. He told me he didn't believe me. I tried to explain to him on the phone. He just said he didn't believe to me. He's protecting his pocket and he's protecting, of course, his client. But I have in my possession fraud from Apple. And he has ordered, or he wants an order for the Benton County Sheriff.
I don't think she could possibly have in her possession fraud. Like, what could she have in her possession? She could have, like, a statement they made in contract and signed and they were supposed to deliver on, didn't, but that's not fraud, right? You have their statements and then you have to have proof and then the judge would decide that they defrauded you. You can't have fraud in your possession. Fraud is not a physical thing. It's an idea.
To break and enter into my home to steal my car where the proof of consideration is not, it's not legitimate. It's a copy of a copy of a copy from a car where
Order that if deemed necessary, the sheriff's directed to break and enter a building or enclosure to obtain possession of the property is to be concealed in the building or enclosure, and whether or not the defendant is present as said occurrence as provided by RCW 7.64.047.
The proof of consideration is not, it's not legitimate. It's a copy of a copy of a copy. From a bank, at least I should get a bank certificate.
45-minute protest with Benton County deputies. Deputy Crixie Sheriff. Okay, let's see if she's got this posted. A 45-minute argument with the local police. Summer Souls Unite. Here's the This Is a Ruse video. It's only 14 seconds long.
Watch what steak does to your gut.
The carnivore diet. Why do people lose weight so rapidly?
Am I still going to give it to me for free, or did he just completely lie?
No, that was a ruse.
Yeah.
No, that was a ruse. She said, am I still going to get to meet Croskery? Or did he just completely lie? And it says, that was just a ruse.
Free, or did he just completely lie?
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
As much bullshit as they've been causing. Oh, he's got a long nose and a big forehead. Got him. I want to see the argument with the cops in there. Finest meeting detective Brandon Meyer, a.k.a. DeLiar. DeMeyer, a.k.a. DeLiar. There's the notice that they put on our door. Oh, God. There she is with what's her name? Mickey Clan. Proof of serving Maricopa County. God, she's a lunatic. We are being scammed by our banks. It's all a sovereign citizen thing, right? The bank illegally loaned you money, so you don't owe none of it. You can just take it all. You don't have to tell anybody. Exposing a corrupt judge, a corrupt system. Amanda Q can't get her fucking kid back. It's because the system's corrupt. It's not because she's a fucking psychopath. Sheriff coming to steal your property? Sue and file a TRO, temporary restraining order against the sheriff. File a restraining order against the sheriff. That way they can't repo your car. Wow. These people are fucking nut jobs, dude.
If I copy, look at a
Oh, August 16th, 2023. So I'm nowhere near back far enough, am I? They even arrested her? Oh, well. I don't have time for it right now. Man, I mean, it sucks to get shit repoed, not be able to pay your bills and shit. But is this the way? I mean, you just do anything to get it back, right? I guess.
originals, but I have proof here. I have proof that Hapo is committing fraud. Now, it's to do with another case. It has to do with my house. The actual proof that I have is on my home. So I have not shared that with Samuel. I have, however...
Kidnapped the next morning, so it would have been around her arrest. Video that we were just talking about, or that I just saw. And her bank on the mortgage fraud. So she called her bank on mortgage fraud. Why didn't you just file an affidavit? Affidavit mamas. That's right. Bonds for the win. The truth about our water. The arrest. She's arrested. So that's when she was arrested. So the cops coming to talk to her should have been here somewhere.
Well, it's a long way.
So many of you may have scheme to get me out of the house. Basically, what I was told was that the Benton County Sheriff Department did an elaborate scheme to get me out of the house. Basically, what I was told was that I would have an opportunity to meet with Sheriff Benton County, Thomas Croskery, and that I would be able to provide the evidence of bank fraud.
They're doing land grabs. Look at Hawaii. Over 1,000 people. School was out that day. They have all year-round school. So hundreds of children died in that fire in Hawaii, and they're not reporting on it because we work for a crooked government.
Do you think that's going to change what these cops are doing? You telling them your crazy theory about Hawaii?
Yes. Sorry to interrupt you, just came up. So basically, I just got off the phone with my command staff, and they're like, yeah, have her come down and talk to us about what's going on. So.
Is a lie. Right after they left, they set up a warrant for my arrest and plotted to steal my car without regarding the fraud and catch my son at home alone. I wonder when they realized that they had cause for a warrant, when that went through. Because it's not unusual for the cops to call somebody up if they think they're going to be an issue or it's going to be hard to find them or hard to take them or they're going to fight or whatever. To call up and be like, you have business down at the courthouse when they show up and arrest them. They've done that plenty of times.
What would be a good time for you guys to come down?
Well, I'll come down at a time when I'm ready. I don't want to be in there and you guys are snatching up my stuff because that's not going to happen.
Right? They have all kinds of meetings.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
Well, they also claim that not only is it because he's elected, they claim that the way they read the Constitution, that the sheriff is the highest office, the highest law enforcement office in the United States. Above the FBI, above federal, above everybody. They're the highest office in the United States for law enforcement. Your local sheriff.
Yes, what's today? What is today?
Wednesday, right?
Wednesday. Yeah, let's make it tomorrow.
16th.
Tomorrow. Give me a time.
About what time?
Oh, wait. I have my phone on me.
Oh, here, babe. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Your alarm's going off.
Oh, thanks. Let's see.
Now, on June 6, 2023, he was served with an affidavit of truth from me, basically explaining the fraud and my stance on the fraud. And I even at that time invited him to look at the fraud. But do you think that I heard from him at any point in time? Nope. So then, let's see. So last week, Wednesday, all of a sudden, out of the blue,
I got to speed her up.
Thomas
somewhere.
Crosscree, the sheriff of Benton County's son, Jordan Crosscree, is at my door. And so he comes with like 2 other cops, and there is a tow truck in front of my house. And there's some guy out there just smiling away. Can't wait to tow my car. Now, of course, I've been in this fight. And the reason I'm doing all of this is because people do need to see and realize that this is not a game, that we are literally in a fight for our lives. And that
even when you start getting behind on your mortgage, especially a local credit union, are typically better than banks. But you can be way behind their mortgage and they'll still work with you. You just didn't want to fucking pay.
there are property grabs going on all over the place. I have been getting emails from so many men and women who are in.
But refute that you made your payments. You didn't. You violated your end of the contract. If you didn't want this fraud to happen, why didn't you just pay your payments?
Dire straight situations. Their homes are getting ready to be taken away, and all mortgages are fraud. And I'm fraud, and they have the right to be free.
All mortgages are fraud.
I've been getting emails from so heard from him at any point in time. Nope. That on their high bank going down the list.
So she didn't want to pay her mortgage, and that caused the bank to react.
It's starting to look like organized crime. When you offices, who's by the way here in my area for Benton County is married to the Benton County commissioner. Jerome Del at the county. When you names here and just high banks are getting ready. I have been getting emails from so many, and that there are property grabs going on all over the place. I have been getting emails from so many men and women who are in dire straight situations. Their homes are getting ready to be taken away, and all mortgages are fraud.
They couldn't commit this. They couldn't take your home if you just made your payments and held up whatever your side of the. There's other reasons, right? If you don't pay your property taxes, you don't pay this. That's even usually wrote into your escrow account anymore. Most people.
And I have the proof of fraud from my bank, which is Hatho Community Credit Union in Kennewick, Washington. Now, I'm going to just start naming names here and just start going down the list because in Kennewick, Washington.
The Tay admitted on a recorded line that all loans are funded through the Federal Reserve.
Now, I'm going to just start naming names here and just start going down the list because this is starting to look like organized crime. When you've got judges that are not considering affidavits of truth, you've got court clerks at the county offices, who's, by the way, here in my area for Benton County is married to the Benton County commissioner. Jerome Delvin, Josie Delvin is his wife. And many, many years ago, I actually I assisted, I would say, in renting their very first home to them. And back in 1996. So these
banks borrow from the Fed, if you don't know, and they buy the Fed's bonds.
All
and other people borrow that money.
In cahoots with each other. And I'd also served an affidavit of truth to Ken Hohenberg. He is the CEO of my bank, and asked him to rebut my proof of claims and prove that.
There's a big thing on TikTok that claim that the big claim on TikTok right now is that all down payments, like if you go to buy a car, all down payments are illegal. They can't force you to put down a down payment, and they can't, right? They cannot force you to put down a down payment. What they can do is you want this $20,000 car based on your credit and what they believe your likelihood to repay and your job. They can only give you $10,000 for a $20,000 car, and you don't have to put down a down payment, but somehow you've got to get from what they want to what the bank will give you. The numbers have to match before they let you leave with the car. You can call it whatever you fucking want. You can call it my matching money. You don't have to, but they can't require you to put down a down payment. Sure. But you can't get financed without it. So there you go. There's actually a legitimate issue going on in Florida right now, where banks, if your home is mortgaged in Florida, in a lot of areas in Florida, they require you, because it's their investment, right? So you have to pay your taxes, you have to pay your insurance. They require you to have hurricane insurance. And insurance companies took a decent hit during COVID, honestly, even though they make tons of money. I'm not saying they lost money. I'm saying the CEOs who make billions didn't make so many billions, and they're upset about it. So insurance companies have been talking about how they're going to have to raise their fucking prices, how they're going to have to do something different, blah, blah, blah. Insurance companies do not want to give hurricane insurance on some houses that require hurricane insurance. So technically, Are they kicking you out of your house? No. But you're kind of in a conundrum. Official banks, decent banks, good banks with good interest rates will not loan on your home because they require you to have insurance that you cannot acquire. So people have turned to like hard money loans and basically like loan sharks, like alternative financing. And those rates, of course, are higher. Default on those are higher because they're higher interest rates. There's a higher chance of something going wrong or getting in over your head or not being qualified for the loan. So this is a legitimate issue going on in Florida right now. And there are some houses that are sitting on like most of the market right now, as soon as something's posted, it's gone within like a month or less. Well, there's houses in Florida that have been sitting on the market very, very aggressively priced, like below the actual value of the home. And they're sitting on the market for 6 months, 8 months, a year.
Funds for my home loan didn't.
Sure. Depending on your flood situation, there's like 3 different types of flood zones, or maybe even more. I know there's at least 3 different types of flood zones. Some insurance companies will not put insurance on that home, and banks will not finance it because they want their fucking collateral insured. So you got to go outside of the box a lot of times.
Come from the Federal Reserve. Proof of claim that you provide any money or credit from your coffers. Because the truth of the matter is they didn't. And in fact, if you go a little earlier down the line in my channels, you will see the phone call between me and Chris Torres, who is the Vice President of Asset Recovery for Happel Community Credit Union.
I'm going to have you hold on right there. You said that you were going to go over how you were going to prove Tmrw.
My bank received over $9 million from the Federal Reserve the day my credit from the Federal Reserve was funded for my loan. Yeah, that's how they take loans. They take bank-only loans from the Fed. You can't get a loan from the Fed, right? And they pay that back, so they're allowed to function. That's how the Fed works. That doesn't mean that they specifically said, okay, we got a mortgage today. Can you send us $9 million?
Okay. I'm asking questions because
the question that you have, I think I'm going to refer you to our attorney.
Okay.
So how exactly is there fraud in the document that you sent over to me?
Okay, the way there's
they probably changed the category of it. They very aggressively updated the flood zones and shit. There are areas that are called like 100-year flood zones and shit. But when you think about how long a house is going to be there, and what are the chances, even if it's like a 100-year floodplain or a flood zone or whatever? Yeah.
Fraud.
It is what it is.
Is that your bank?
You got to play. If you want their financing, you got to play their game.
Provided $0 for my transaction from your coffers. That's what I've been asking for the whole time, and that's what I explained to you in that first meeting when you had that.
You're always free. You're free to pay cash for it. You're free to find a different financer, right? You're somebody else that'll float the loan.
There.
Kathy, how did we not provide any money? Because if we didn't provide any money, you wouldn't be able to live on that property.
Well, first of all, there is no money. There's only debt. So you guys are asking me to pay this debt with debt because there is no money. It's just currency. But the question is,
there is no money. It's God's money.
I guess what I found out, and it's right there in black and white, 1 through 5, that you guys are provided the money based on my credit, my trust. And when I say trust, you say there's no trust that's around. What I mean by that is, like, I trust you. I trust you to say, okay, you know what, we're a bank and we have money. You're going to jump through a month and a half worth of hoops. You're going to sign over your life. You're going to sign over your children, and we can kick you out physically from your home. However, you provided the value. So isn't there just a swap or exchange of credit going on with the Federal Reserve? And is it really money that's being produced here? Did you guys really produce this money from your bank? Because it didn't show that in what you sent me. It showed that you guys got that from the Federal Reserve. And then it went into my bank account. And the reason it went into my...
The FEMA requirements are anytime your loan or your origination or whatever, anything has to do with any type of federal assistance, any type of loan, grant, insurance, payment, subsidy, disastrous, anything, anytime your loan has any type of tie to that, you have to. There's even certain counties that you don't even realize that get a certain credit from, they're like rural credits or low population credits and shit, that those credits roll into your mortgage and can cause you to have to be required to jump through these hoops or whatever they may be.
My bank account is because I am the originator. That's based on the promissory note that I signed. A promise. You guys promised that you would help pay $330,000 to me or to my seller so that I could move into this home. But that's not what happened. What is your explanation of what happened there?
Here's where the money was transferred out of my account, and below shows the wire transfer from my bank account to the company. Here is where the money was transferred out of my account. Right, so they funded an account. And below shows the wire transfer from my bank account to the title company. Sure, they funded a mortgage account, right? So when they fund a mortgage account, they'll say we put $500,000 in this account. $500,000 went to the seller or whatever, and there you go. Now you owe that debt on it.
I'm actually going to let you go ahead and go to court on Friday and then have the judge take a look at this, and then whatever questions you might have or you might have at that time, we can go ahead and provide it. Unfortunately, I can't give you an answer to give you all the documents that you need. We did fund the property. I mean,
no, see, the bank didn't fund the property. See, that's the thing you keep saying. That this is what happened in my mind. Just humor me here. What happened is that the note got sent to the Fed, and the Fed funded the loan. Then the Fed sent that loan and deposited it into my account because
oh my God,
that was from the promise. What you guys did was you have a relationship with the Fed. So what you did is you turned in my promissory note to the Fed, and they funded the loan, funded it into my account, and then all you guys did was send it back to the title company. So who really funded the loan?
We funded the loan, Kathy.
How did you? Okay, so it came from your coffers.
Yeah, I mean, you
from a loan that they took from the Federal Reserve. I don't know what you're missing here. If you come to me and say, Will, I need to borrow $100, I'll pay you $150 back. And I go to Mariah and say, Mariah, I'm going to loan out some money and I'm going to make some money on it. Would you loan me $120? Or $100, I'll pay you back $120. I make that $30 off of it, right? That's how I make my money. She hands me the $100, I hand you the $100. When it comes back, I keep $30 and give her the $20.
Probably, I think the Federal Reserve, we probably gave them the Federal
No,
Reserve.
you didn't. It was created.
I don't have access to the Federal Reserve, so I don't know really how their accounts work. I can just tell you that you sent a promissory note saying that you would pay half of back.
Wrong, 8-Ball.
How we got the money is not really relevant to the conversation. The point is we...
Sounds like 8-Ball's been dipping to the 8-Ball.
We funded the loan.
Okay.
She admitted that she funds from the credits of the home came from the Federal Reserve. My bank received $9 million that day from the Federal Reserve. The $9 million is irrelevant. I don't know why you keep saying that. It's irrelevant. It says subsidiary statement showing all wire activity from the Federal Reserve Bank. This wire with the corresponding IMAD number is highlighted as the amount, the total outgoing wires for the day.
So, but you said earlier an ordinary person can understand this agreement. Now you're telling me you need to refer me to the lawyer?
No, I don't know. No, I told you your questions regarding the Federal Reserve. I have no idea how their accounts work. That's something you would have to talk to them.
So you're assisting in fraud by denying this, okay? You don't even know how it works.
You're assisting in fraud.
But you're
fraud
denying it. Do you see what's happening here? You don't even know how it works.
Why would I know how the Federal Reserve works? I don't work for them.
They print money is what they do. And so they're printing money. So what they did was you guys sold
There's so many cuts in
my
this.
name, my trust, and my note to the Federal Reserve for actual cash value or actual digits. And then that got approved. So basically you guys got approved for free money. And then
It's not free money. It's a loan from the Federal Reserve. They often bundle a bunch of mortgages and send them all over, process at the same time.
have to pay it back over 30 years, or I could get kicked out by a county sheriff, pulled out of my house, a car stolen.
I was arrested at 8:58 a.m. at 9:03 a.m. After I was arrested, Aaron was being boxed in the parking lot of the Justice Center while he was trying to call my son. And at the exact same time at 9:03 a.m., there were 6 deputies surrounding my home with my son home alone. They pounded on the door, and some were calling him out by name and threatening to arrest him if he didn't open the door.
But I am the one who funded it. You guys just had the money printed. That's it. What did you guys do other than push buttons? And we spent about a good 17 minutes talking on the phone about...
The difference is you can't go to the Federal Reserve and say, hey, I need a home loan.
Just asking some questions.
All you did was push buttons. Okay, you pushed a button, bitch. You go to the Federal Reserve and say, fund my loan. You push the button then. If all they're doing is pushing buttons, then you do it.
Some basic questions, and then getting her to basically admit that all credit that pays the seller during your transaction comes through the Federal Reserve. Now, if 100% of the credit comes from the Federal Reserve because they took your promissory note and they turned your promissory note, which was your promise, which was your trust, and they turned that in because you had been a good little sheep and you paid your bills on time. And because of that, you qualified for this amount of money to take from your credit, right? Because they check your credit to make sure you will qualify. And of course, we have millions of dollars of credit in our trust But it's not just credit. It's actually backed by gold, backed by you and your birth certificate. So here we are. And so I was attempting to, in good faith, with clean hands, present the truth of the matter, because truth is sovereign and
I was depressed before, but now I think I might have suicidal ideations.
truth is to be expressed in the form of an affidavit, and that's what I did. But he didn't respond to me. He didn't try to get a hold of me, the Benton County Sheriff, Thomas Crosby. So I was set up, and the way it worked out, and so this is good for, like I said, for everyone to understand and overstand, because a lot of people out there think that, oh, they're not going to do anything. You know, it's too late. The tide is about to turn. We must press forward. We cannot let up. This is a movement of the people. And if the banks don't provide any pennies towards anyone's loans or credit to the seller, yet they can add your home as an asset on the balance sheet and make it.
Yes, because they have to pay that loan back the same way that you can get a loan, pay off half of it, and you can put the equity in that home as an asset and the amount you owe on the loan as a liability. They're just doing a slightly bigger version of exactly what you did, and what you did wasn't illegal. So what they're doing is not illegal.
Ownership, and make the ownership of make the bank basically the owners of your home. And well, that might be okay, right? If they provided any money, even a penny. Did they even provide one penny to pay off your home loan, so that, you know, to the seller? Well, and if you can't tell me that you honestly, you're like, I don't know, I don't think so. I thought it was coming from the bank. Well, then that's fraud, and fraud vitiates everything. And so what's happening here is that
you just said their own paperwork told you that they got money from the Fed. So how is it fraud if you signed a contract and it said that they got money from the Fed to pay this and you were supposed to pay? How is that fraud? They told you everything.
We are all under maritime law and admiralty law, and we are under the law of water. And that's why we sign everything in blue. The government, like,
by the way, they get these loans to meet their reserve requirements. So they have to so let's say they're going to loan out $500,000, and that's going to put them below their reserve requirement. They have to take a money to meet they have to meet the reserve requirements.
Like blue, they tell you, oh, it's because we want to know it's an original that's being copied. No. That's blue for water, black for dead, purple for royalty, and of course red also. Red represents the blood, your DNA, your blood, your autograph. But
you know, banks can borrow from each other too, and it's typically cheaper than the Federal Reserve. You can borrow at the standard Federal Reserve rate, but you can also borrow cheaper from other banks too. So if another bank borrowed money to meet their reserves from a separate bank and then funded your mortgage, would you be okay? That bank owns your loan now? Is that what you're saying?
See, they do this into believing that we are a piece of paper, or that we are an identification card, that you can't even legally walk around outside without your ID on. That's illegal. Well, who says? Really? I mean, who says it's illegal to go to the park and not have your ID? Why is that important? Oh, it's for your safety. See, this is all the brainwashing. Everything is for our safety. And in the meantime, they strip away all of our rights. And the truth of the matter is that we are just free. Like I said, I served Thomas Crosby with an affidavit of truth with my stance on the fraud. Now, the sheriff is the most powerful position in the county. So if I can't bring my fraud to the county sheriff, then what, right?
Banks have to offer up collateral to get loans from the Fed. They can use treasury notes, commercial loans, but they can also bundle assets like residential mortgages or mortgage-backed securities they may be invested in. The Fed approves what their collateral is. I can almost guarantee they had a number that they wanted to hit, like 15 new mortgages this month or whatever, and the $9 million is irrelevant. They probably got that money from the Fed to meet their reserves because they were going to be short on their reserves, but the money they actually got, if it came from the Fed, was probably given to them weeks ago when they decided they were going to try to originate so many more loans. They have goals they try to hit, and they got to keep money on hand for those goals. But they have to have collateral. So they use the collateral of someone else's loan to fund your loan, basically.
I'm working on that. I'm not going to get into that right now, but there are things in play here, because it just seems to me like they just adjudicate against the people without even looking at the evidence, without even considering the truth, without even considering that there's fraud going on. Why is it that you can basically lie and steal? And it's called official powers. But when people are losing their home and they're telling the truth and they have lost their jobs or lost their livelihoods, and you're yelling at them because they should have gotten a lawyer, they should know better, and they signed a contract. So because they signed that contract and got conned into a corporation, conned into a death pledge, because mort means death, muerto, that means death. It's all word magic. And so we're at a point, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't even like to say that because even that is a title, but we need to realize that we are free. And I'm not afraid of what is coming in front of me because I am standing in the truth. And I have already exposed to you and the world on my channel what the fraud is. At this point, considering what happened, and now that you've seen the evidence of what they've done to me, and that was my second time making an attempt to show Sheriff Crossbreed the evidence and the truth and the proof of fraud. That's my second attempt. And he arrested me. He didn't even show his face. He had his two deputies do it for him, Deputy Surplus. And then there was another guy that I can't remember his name. He was the Hispanic guy in the video, but the whole time I was talking, he was looking at me, and even look back. Here, look at this. He's looking at me just like that the whole time. He realizes, I feel like he knew I was telling the truth, and he was even nodding his head a lot when he would look at me when I was saying things. But, got to collect that paycheck, right? Even though people are getting thrown out onto the streets, and I'm talking millions and millions and millions of people right now are getting squeezed out of their homes, squeezed out of their cars. So this is our time where the ants come marching in. And we're planning some pretty good things down the pike here very soon in the next few weeks, because as you know, they're already calling for mandates.
They're thinking of the bank borrowing money in the Fed the wrong way. Sovereign citizens want you to think that banks borrow money from the Fed to make money, which in a roundabout way, that's sort of true because they're going to make money eventually by either auctioning off your home or you making your payments. But they're actually taking money at a penalty. The bank would much rather have the cash on hand to originate your loan because they don't have to pay the fee to the Federal Reserve. But banks operate at a pretty slim margin. They want all their money out making money. So a more reserved bank would have more money on hand to make more of these loans, but then that takes away from the money they have on hand and they wouldn't be making as much money. So a bank would like to have a large percentage, 60, 70% of all the money they have, all the assets, all the money, all the dollars that it says they're worth loaned out. And when five or 6 or 10 or 30 home loans originate in the same week, they're actually being penalized by having to borrow money. I think they call it, what do they call it? The discount window or some shit is slang for borrowing for the Federal Reserve. It's actually, you're oversimplifying it when you're like, they borrow our money to make money. No, they could make more money if they just had the money in the bank. They don't. They have to meet certain minimum requirements. So when they go to authorize these loans for the week or the month, they're not going to hit their requirements. They have to borrow money at a cost to them. Just like it's at a cost to you. You could save money if you just paid cash for your house. You can't, or you don't want to. So you go and because you'd like to have your money invested and diversified, so you go to a bank and you have to pay a cost to you.
It's just getting more Gestapo out there, and this reign that has been over mankind for generations, because this is a 5-generation plan to bring us into the New World Order. And I had a meeting with Crossbreed, last year, and it had to do with the vaccinations of the children, about the children and protecting the children and all of the suicides going on in our area. It's like, well, when does it become a crime when kids keep killing themselves? And then you look at the school system, what they're doing to the kids are psychologically torturing them. They are teaching them to lie with their eyes. That's just not fair. My heart really breaks for the children of today. Many of the boys are soft, and the girls, you can't sometimes even tell now if a girl is a boy or a boy is a girl. And we need to start putting a focus and value on the truth. Value on the truth. That is really all that matters. And even for the people out in the truther movement, whether the world is round or the world is flat, that's really not the most important thing right now. I'm just going to be very honest with you. We've got such more important things to be talking about, like the children.
If the world is round or flat and you're living under a bridge, does that really matter?
Our education system, which is a complete brainwashing farm.
I guess the biggest question is, she wants it to be fraud so she can have a judge award her house for free. But if she really wanted to abide by this system that she claims exists, then she would just be paying directly to the Fed, according to her. She still have payments.
People need to pull their children out of school. Do not let them go back to schools with masks again, because the time is coming. And now the first time we all got duped, a lot of people got duped. But we need to stop being cowards, and we need to stop putting the mask on. We need to demand that we have rights under God, and that we have the right to be free, and to put a mask on if you want. I mean, go ahead. But I'm not going to. In fact, my son and I, we didn't wear masks. I think it was like from late April 2020, once we figured it out. Because in the beginning, it was hard to know, even President Trump was talking about it. So, and I wasn't as awake as so many people are out there, even in my audience. So I didn't know that at the time, 100% for sure. When I heard about the vaccines, that was it. I knew it was my time to start exiting the matrix and exiting my corporations and start fighting for the children. And now that's morphed into me fighting the banking system.
Shit, bitch, your children's going to be homeless.
And the court system and the sheriff's department. And look, I don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah, the kids didn't care at all.
If you saw that video, then you see I'm not that big.
My kids didn't. There were times they had to wear them. They had to take them with them, and had Mariah bought them little cute masks, and they like the different characters. They didn't give a fuck.
I'm not. I just want to be free. And I know there's a lot of people out there who just want.
You remember the crazies that were like, masks don't stop viruses because they only go to 10 micron and this is 3 micron. But then they were like, the mask will cause brain damages because the oxygens can't get in there. What?
Want to be free. And it's not fair that the courthouses can adjudicate against the people, the good people of this earth, with a fraudulent banking system that is a debt slavery system. It's insane. We should not have to pay to live on this planet. We should not have to pay to live on this planet. Do you know how that probably looks to our galactic brothers and sisters? It probably breaks their hearts because, they're just more ascended than we are, more evolved than we are. And we've forgotten who we are because God created us in his image, and he is the creator.
They're going to turn back into animals and not be able to recognize social cues because they can't see their teacher's mouth.
And he made us creators as well alongside him.
Kids just start shitting on against the wall and fucking on all fours, hiking a leg up to piss on a locker.
We'll create, and we have the ability to create a great and fulfilling and loving life. So, but listen, this is war. We are at war with a cabal, deep state system that is now trying to clamp down on the people.
Sniffing each other's butts instead of
we cannot allow our
cool
children
handshakes they do in the morning.
And put them right back in a mask, knowing this is all a farce and fraud. If I could give you any encouragement at all, if I could show you and tell you what courage is and what it means,
all it turn into a motivational speech.
Fake de facto rules and regulations, which is all that matters. And your debt, if you're struggling with your mortgage, well, guess what? Banks are falling all over the place, left and right. And what if all
I thought about starting an anti-Q merch line that was just like hashtag, like, yes, I'm part of the hashtag deep state. Ask me how to join the cabal. Illuminati is what I was going to call it. And then spell naughty like naughty. I don't know. I think it'd be funny just to trigger people.
The ants came marching in and started sending the CEOs affidavits of truth, challenging the bank and putting the CEO's neck on the line. Because
listen how stupid this is. We exhaustively investigated the litter box. Everybody heard it about a school that some other kid goes to, some other parent on Facebook. Everybody heard it. We exhaustively investigated this over and over again. You cannot find these litter boxes. They don't fucking exist. It was just a rumor that somebody started, and just kept spreading, right? I still have people to this fucking day that will email me and be like, I know you don't believe about those litter boxes back in 2020, but I'm going to tell you right now, I have a friend that don't lie. And her daughter went to a school on the other side of town, and they had them. They had them.
You could put a caveat in there, and then you could sue them. And this is what needs to happen by the people. It's our job to remove such actors, elected officials, if they are not working for the people. And these people are not working for the people. I try to have a civil conversation with these people, and they're just all they know is code. And code is fraudulent under the United States of America Corporation. The city of Kennewick is a corporation. The county of Benton is a corporation. The state of Washington is a corporation. And of course, then there's the United States of America Corporation. And
the cat of Espandinda is corporation.
That is debunked. And it's over. That it's not. Basically, Joe Biden is the president of nothing. He's the president of a fake corporation and just an actor in a mask. And, we don't even.
They had parents showing up at school board meetings saying, and I know that Brookside Elementary School put in, and the school board was like, no, they didn't. That's not a thing. We've heard that from neighboring communities. They're not doing it either. That's not a thing. It's just a rumor on the internet. And they're like, you can't lie to me, Mr. School Board.
Know where the real Joe Biden is, probably 6 feet under dirt. So we're starting to see the rollout, and the great awakening is finally here. I am envisioning people standing up all over the place because you know what? Do you know how many people have lost loved ones? I hear the sirens all the time outside going, I've never heard of that in all my life. I've never seen so many people walking around like zombies, buying and spending their last penny. You know, while all of their livelihood is being
buying and spending their last penny from a woman who didn't make her payments.
Energy is being stripped away. This is the lie, folks, that we have been under, and it's time to wake up. So I wanted to give you all an update. I want you to know that I'm okay. I want you to know that I did not shed one tear in jail. And in fact, I was very kind as possible as I could be to everyone.
You should have hung out with Shelly. She cried her fucking eyes out.
Inside there. Because most of them are just doing it for a paycheck, and they don't really see the big picture because they're so conditioned, and it's just a job. You can tell no one likes it there. No one likes working there. And, one little tidbit I want.
Gotta head to my mom's. I'll be driving and listening. Nah, we're good.
To tell you, when I was in there and they were checking me in, guess what the name of the system of inside the jail is? The New World Systems. I mean, I said New World Systems. Are you kidding me? And the deputy behind the counter, I know, right? Wow, that's all I got to say.
I would be much more concerned. Somebody says, who cares? I would be much more concerned, not with a bank taking money from the Fed, which is what they're supposed to do. I would be much more concerned if my bank wasn't meeting their on-hand requirements, because that tells me if they're not keeping their reserves up because they don't borrow from the Fed, that tells me when I go to make a withdrawal, they're likely not going to have it. And when word spreads about that, everybody will try to make a withdrawal, and they'll crash my fucking bank.
And don't fear, because when we stand in the truth and we stand in love, and we are basically, I'm trying to model to you the way we need to handle this, because don't think you're going to go into court and just win, because they adjudicate against people all day long. However, it's a 1.5-year process potentially in court, and we, the people, can go in sui juris, not pro se. That's legalese. You'll never win pro se or legalese. Sui juris. And that means basically that you are
pro se,
age of majority, sound mind and body, and competent. And that's it. That's it. Pro se is representing oneself. Well, just the fact that you're representing instead of presenting, that should be a little clue that you
Oh, you need to be presenting, not representing.
want to go in there pro se. Because the truth of the matter is, they only have jurisdiction.
I like that laugh. That should be a little clue.
Instead of presenting, that should be a little clue that you don't want to go in there pro se. Because the truth.
God damn. Is it really that awkward? Let me slow it back down. Wow. Ha!
Well, just the fact that you're representing instead of presenting, that should be a little clue that you don't want to go in there pro se. Because the...
What the fuck is that? That should be proof you don't want to go in there pro se. Ha! Because what that really does is... Jesus, that was so weird.
Truth of the matter is, the fact that you're representing instead of presenting, that should be a little clue that you don't want to go in there pro se. Because the truth of the matter is,
wow, that was rough. Jesus Christ. If she gets any more excited, her goddamn eyebrows are going to join her receding hairline. Them motherfuckers going to the moon. Look like the eyebrows looking like the interest rates.
Have jurisdiction over subject matter. They do not have jurisdiction over you, the man or woman. So when you go in there and you sue them as the man or the woman. Man or woman against man versus woman. Because a man cannot sue a corporation, and a corporation cannot sue a living man. And that's why they created the straw man, which a lot of people probably...
They didn't just make that for the Wizard of Oz? Well, there goes my whole childhood.
Probably already know about. And that is all basically our lives on paper attached to a trust with millions, if not billions of dollars in it. This trust that has been stolen from the people and the world, that was meant to be a resource for the people, not to be stripped and redirected for the cabal. So join me in getting the...
Oh no, what is this?
Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom.
Oh no. We might have actually seen this before.
I didn't do it, Paul.
Well, it's a long way to Richmond. Rolling on.
How did that happen? That's restarted that video?
You can do it, baby. I love you so much.
Oh, he's talking about the weightlifter.
And just bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it, Paul.
Bullshit.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And just bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
Bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Bad news. Bad things. Mom, I'm sorry. So he was talking about a trans weightlifter who was struggling to lift, or the female was struggling to lift the weight and saying, Mom, I'm sorry, I failed you, I couldn't do it. And then some giant guy comes over there and is like, boom, I win, or some shit. Some story he made up in his head.
So when you go in there and you sue them as the man or the woman. Man or woman against man versus woman. Because a man, a lot of people here probably already know, millions of dollars in it. Not to be stripped and redirected for the cabal. So join me in getting the truth out together. If we challenge our banks and say no more, why are we...
Freedom, become part of the movement and save the world. By the way, I saw this video pop up. Let me share this video. This is just a cool video. It doesn't have much to do with anything else. One of my favorite movies is I guess it was back in, God, when was that movie recorded? Gladiator? That's one of my favorite movies of like all time, is the Gladiator movie. I guess it's 2000, right? My name is Maximus, I really miss blah, 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 whatever. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife. That guy. Check this out. This is behind the scenes, I guess, of the recording of the opening scene where there's this like huge battle that has these fireballs and shit in it. That's insane. How they shot this scene. Truck driving a fireball. I don't know. I just thought it was a cool video. Pretty wild. I think it's the main link to the scene here. So they try to like... Oh, that's not what I meant. I'm gonna do this. And they have like a group that sneaks behind and flanks them or whatever. It's a pretty wild scene in the movie. I like the movie. I like the story. I've probably watched it 100 fucking times. I used to watch a lot of stuff I had downloaded on loop. When they go to execute him, he's like, it's the frost. Makes the blood stick early in the morning. Beats the shit out of him. It's pretty cool. I don't know. It's a pretty cool movie. This whole scene had to be ridiculous to record all this without like a bunch of CGI and shit, which it doesn't seem like much of it was. There's the Emperor. He's only in the movie for like 5 minutes though. He dies. Pretty wild scene. Especially to see it like behind the scenes, the recording of it. I don't know. We'll finish this. I can even hear a helicopter pulling one of the fireballs.
Funding these child sex traffickers. And I have a very strong stance, and I know that may sound very scary to some, but we need to start standing and digging our heels in and saying no more. Because if we keep complying, and we're not going to get out of this by complying, then they're just going to herd us like sheep into the New World Order. So please, would you stand with me? Okay, well, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining my show.
Please
if you
stand
get a
with me.
chance and you find it in your heart, would you please donate to my friend Samba in Bahama, Gambia?
OneNewEarth.org. Her website is donate to kids in Uganda. I'm sure that's exactly where that money's going. Hold on. We got to check that. GoFund.me/ GoFund.me/ 583-BCD16. 583-BCD16. She's the beneficiary. Ah, come on, dude. It looks like it's been shut down. The fundraiser is no longer accepting donations. If you are the organizer, beneficiary, team member, or donor, sign in to see additional information about it. Hello, good men and women, children. This is Kat Espinda from One New Earth. I'm trying to raise money for my friend Samba. You think she meant Simba? And his village located in Bracama, Gambia. They have no clean water and have to spend a weekend walking to the city and carrying water home. I think Mr. Beast went and fixed all this. That's a joke. Obviously, he didn't fix it all. Mr. Beast went and installed like 1,000 fucking wells in Africa. He's a good dude, even though like a lot of people hate on him on YouTube or whatever. But he's a good dude. I mean, he didn't have to do any of that shit or plant all the trees they did and shit. OneNewEarth.org. I wonder if that $3,000 actually went, $3,800 actually went over there or not. This is a video game. That is a video game. I can't remember the name of it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It is a factory building game that's kind of set on an alien planet. I've seen, when I've watched clips of Destiny, I've seen him playing it in the background. Is it Tectonica? Let me see. You like connect pipes and build assembly lines and shit, and it looks like you're on like an alien planet. I don't know why she'd have that fucking video game there. Is it the Mars one? I don't know. I just remember seeing him. He had like a, I saw in the back of clips when I was watching like spicy clips from his channel. He had like a ray gun where he would like highlight the pipe and he could change it and spin it and then connect all the pipes. And he built like a little factory. There was even like little machines in the factory and stuff. But the big thing you see him a lot is just connecting pipes and running everywhere. But that's definitely a video game. I'm not sure why that's there, but kind of weird. The Matrix. A system created for us and yet against us. Ooh, the Rothschilds, Rockefeller, Soros, and other elite family members. The system holds us at birth in the hospital until a birth certificate is issued, not your life certificate of birth. That gets sold on the stock market between the elite, dependent upon who your father is and what your zip code you live in. Makes sense. Makes sense. It makes too much sense, maybe. Oh, here's their sponsors. Pixel Pets. Is it gonna make them? Oh my God! They are sponsored by a company where you take a picture in a bar stool and a picture of your dog, and it'll make it gigantic, and you're riding it. We should get this for Derek Johnson. I don't think he's ever even seen a horse. If we don't want to put if I don't want to put a pet in it, and I just happen to have a picture of Derek Johnson's mom on all fours, would that work? Amazing! He's riding that dog with a bazooka. So good. Pixel Pets at aarcrafts.com. I did not expect them to be the only people who's ever purchased this. What is this? One of her kids does this? What is happening? One of her kids does it, right? It's got to be. This is not an adult that does this. Twin flame art. Does she do it? Why? We ride at dawn. Here's your dentist stick. Bagging strips. Why is the dog so poorly cut out? I've never seen a dog with so many right angles in my life. Oh, it's bad. There she is, twin flames. There's someone special in all our life. Can I get one of these for Mariah's birthday? Did you guys fund it? It's probably stupid expensive. But there, get an ink or a fucking oil painting. Way too big for the camper. I'm talking like 10 feet by like 6 feet commissioned. And it's just us solemnly sitting at both ends of a table that's way too big. Like a table that sits like 50 people. I'm sitting at one end, she's sitting at the other. And we're both slowly enjoying ramen noodles. There's someone special in all our lives, but there's no connection with a more powerful frequency or vibration than the twin flames connection. Twin flames are the ones who are always finishing each other's sentences, share the same thoughts, and give off a unique aura that others notice in public. They're the ones they're the ones you regularly see together, having joyous and wholesome conversation, holding on to each other, and not wasting their time fiddling with their phones. With twin flames arts, you'll make sure your special someone knows that they are your twin flame. And you'll do it without having to say a word. If someone got me this, I would leave them. Just get a mural on the side of the camper. I thought, if I ever become, I don't want to give this away. I don't think Mariah will see this part, okay? If I ever become, like, famous where I just got money to just do stupid shit, I'm going to have my entire car wrapped with Mariah's face. And then just park it and see what happens. Set up cameras everywhere. Her whole ass face. I'm talking like chin, driver's side, top of her head, on passenger side. All the way, her whole ass face. I'm even going to get the windows done where they like perfect so you can still see through it. But I'm going to get the whole fucking car wrapped in Mariah's face. I think it'd be the funniest shit in the world. I just think it'd be hilarious. If someone got me this, though, I would leave them immediately. I have not bought a pistol yet. We went and looked. I'm really bad about buying shit for myself. Like, even when I have the money, I always talk myself out of it. I'll buy shit for the kids and Mariah, but I don't know. When it's something for me, I'm not doing... Anyways, I'm not... that's sad. Look at how bad this is! I'm really bad about... I talk myself out of it way too much. I know I want it. I know I need it. I know I have the money for it. But then in my head, it just pops up like, what if this happens? What if the car breaks down? What if you need a new part for the computer? What if, what if you die tomorrow? I don't know. I can't do it. Brilliant! Yeah, her head's a little fucking cut off because a child is trying to learn Photoshop. So they just put a fuzzy filter over it that makes it look like it's hand-drawn. I don't know if you guys can hook this up, but there's a guy I've been dying to get an interview with. Okay. He's a YouTube personality, big Trump supporter, I think. Sometimes not so much. Big believer of, oh my God, she's rotten bitch. Big supporter of Trump sometimes. Big different ones, you know, different this, that, the other. Yeah, his name is, he's a big worshiper of the White Wolf too. His name is Rhino on YouTube. If you guys could let him know I'm reaching out for him for an interview, I'd like to have him on sometime. How much do you pay for this shit? The twin flames is literally just a background. They reduce, they make you a little transparent and then stick you up there. This is horrible. Do they make money doing this? There's no fucking way. Products. Pixel Pets, digital package only. Digital only. $35 for one animal, $55 for two animals, $75 for three animals, $95 for four animals. I'm going to send them. If you think Mariah would let me take a picture of her on all fours? Look what I bought you. If I send them a human, what are they going to do? Tell me no? It seems like they're desperate for money. How much are they charging for a digital-only twin flame? No goddamn way. I could make this in about 4 minutes. It was Brian Stelter. We knew who it was. I don't think that was the issue. It's still just fucking dumb. How much for it on a canvas? 8 by 8, 30, all the way up to a 30 by 40 inch for $70. Must be some cheap ass canvas. Blanket packages. I always think about getting Mariah something that she would think. I want her to believe. I want it to be like the worst present ever. But I want her to think that, because she's so nice. She always talks about, I already bought running shoes. They're supposed to be here soon. I always talk about, or she always talks about what she should have said or what she would have said or what she should have done kind of deal. That's just the way she is. But I want to get her the worst present ever. And for her to think that I really was like, really went above and beyond and really thought she would enjoy it and just to see her reaction. I'm sure she'd be nice about it. She's super nice. Oh my God, you can get a pillow in the shape of a dog? A pet-shaped pillow? A 30-incher, $140. I charge that an hour for a 2-incher. So I honestly think that's probably a good deal. The mouse pad package. How big can we? 8.2 by 8.2? Well, that kind of sucks. I want one that covers the whole desk. There you go, guys. Get yours twin flame. June 17, 2023. Medical? I don't even know if that's medical. Interview with Samba, the water bucket carrier.
If you don't want to die from diabetes, pay attention to this simple trick you can use starting tonight to balance blood sugars right away. Most people don't know.
You're a fucking liar. Dogs can't even work a camera. Come in here bragging about some bullshit.
This.
Watch
They
what
don't
steak
have
does to
fucking
your
thumbs,
gut.
Michael.
Carnivore diet. Why do people lose weight so rapidly?
Protein
Two
is
photo competitions. How they turn the lens, huh?
It's really bad, and this young man is in a lot of pain, and so
much pain
without
he's in.
further ado, here's my interview.
Is this 90 Day Fiance?
Show. Today I have Samba here with me, and he is from Gambia, West Africa, and
Get Scott riding Scott. He could ride fucking Goldilocks. That bitch, he got traps for days.
we connected on LinkedIn. He reached out to me, and
He's scamming her. If she's not stealing the money, he reached out to you on LinkedIn and said, please, I love all your videos. Can you get my fucking village some water? We have no water. We must poo-poo in the bucket and squeeze the water from the poo-poo to drink the water.
we started to talk, and I got to find out about him and his family and how he has taken in 7 orphans, him and his family, into their home. And people here
This man ain't got no gut. Are you stupid?
in America don't get to see a lot of times what goes on in other parts of the country. We're also busy working, we're busy watching movies and shows, but they don't show us the truth through our news. So I asked Samba to come on to my show today and just talk about himself and what he's doing, what it's like to live in Gambia, and share what's going on with his family and the orphans that they've taken in. So Samba, how are you today?
Hello, Kat. I'm doing fine. And how are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So why don't you tell my audience about what it's like living in Gambia and talk about your.
This has got to be the most gullible bitch in the world, dude. Don't believe anything on the news, but this gentleman contacted me through LinkedIn and said he really needs some fresh water for his 17 orphans.
Family a little bit.
Yeah. Living in Gambia, it takes a lot, like courage, hard work, patience, and then believe in God. Yeah. I live in Gambia with my mom and 7 siblings. I lost my father when I was 7 years old. So since then, because I'm the oldest among my siblings, and right now as I'm speaking, I am the strongest because I'm the one who can be able to go out and do hard labor works. And then have something.
I am the only one that can go out and do all the works. Makes sense.
Then come back. Yeah, right now, as I told you, I live with my mom and 7 siblings, and I'm the one taking care of them. Yeah, my siblings are very young. And then my mom is at a stage whereby she can do hard work, so she can live hard things. So I feel like it is my responsibility to look after my siblings because I cannot live them like that. Or whatsoever.
Wait, is this the same guy?
Immediate neighbor kakuja
Honorable
Samba MC Cham is the same thing. Sirifo Fanang is the same thing.
I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
United and one gonna nena go baba goto UDP achani chedo achani pullo achani jolko UDP foko no nodi gili banjul ha base foko UDP gili banjul ha base foko bibe Gambia gili banjul ha base Kristane jullo pullo jolko chedo bamange fo agoro bo achani wobe mbiano loya dabo si jodi ma sebebe si kebi ma leni UDP sebi ma leni.
Is this the same guy? He's everywhere on social media. UDP leader declares his assets worth millions. That was from the UDP slandering, I think's what they meant to say. Oh, there's where he got there's where he got her on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's definitely a real guy. That's definitely a real guy struggling to feed his 17 orphans. Get them some water, huh? Hello, everyone. My name is Samba Jallo. Greetings from Gambia in West Africa. I'm 22 years old. I was a student studying in high school before, but later comes to dropped out of school due to circumstances across my family situation. Please helps. He follows the United Nations and the WHO. You dumb bitch. You're so fucking dumb.
Or them getting hungry and stuff like that. So it is not easy. The journey is very, very difficult. We are facing a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges. When it comes to food and then clean water to drink,
I'm pretty sure he was in one of those videos that I had made for my brother-in-law.
Especially for water, because we work more than 4 or 5 hours, to reach the destination where we can have water, and then to fetch water, then come back to our beach. So that's like
How many Apple Play Store cards did he have you buy him for water? Yeah, just get the Google Play cards. You can get them at Walgreens. Don't tell them they're for me. Tell them they're for your kid who plays a lot of fork knife. Whatever. All right, guys. I'm out of here. She's a dumb bitch. Thank you for sharing that. That was actually Jennifer shared that. Or at least the first video. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm out of here. Support the show. Consider supporting the show. Make a donation. Keep it going. Whatever. I've been kind of down this week. I'm sure I'll snap out of it eventually. Not right now, but later. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you all on the next one.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord and to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, beating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby,
have a good night, guys.
People, alien sex.